Hey, this is Touradj from Up and Go, and today we're going to take a minute and talk about 4 different ways that you can present QR codes to your guests to pay. So the first way would be by putting something on the table, a QR code like this. One of the things that's nice about this, of course, is that you save that whole time to ask the server for your check. So you've always got the QR code there ready to go. However, that convenience does come with some costs. First of all, obviously, this takes some space on the table. Another issue is that these things can move around easily. You may end up with the wrong code on the wrong table. That could cause people to pay the wrong check, and then you have a little bit of a headache on your hands. Another thing, if you're ever merging tables, you may not know which QR code is the right code for the right check. A big thing that can go wrong is people can pay too soon. Very easy to pay your check, order something else, then not think about it, or perhaps the server didn't put every last thing on the check before the guest goes to pay, so you might get underpaid checks. There's some talk about QR codes actually being replaced by malicious QR codes. So people could come by, put a fake QR code on the desk, and then the money goes somewhere else. I personally haven't seen that happen, but it's a possibility. Also, these things cost money. You might spend $5 to $10 each. So let's say you have 50 tables and you've got to spend $10 on each of these. You're looking at possibly an extra $500 in cost that you could avoid. And most of all, I would say, is the operational burden, because these QR codes are going to be specific to your tables. So you're going to need to program all these QR codes for each table and each location of your restaurant. You're going to always need to make sure you have the right QR code on the right table. Otherwise, things are going to go wrong. And of course, they could get lost, stolen, fall off a table, dirty, worn out, and then you also have a replacement issue. So while it is really great to have these on the table right away, so you're saving that extra step, there are some costs involved with it. Another thing that you could do is you could have a very similar setup where you have a QR code per table and you just deliver it with the check. And this could be tap. All of these could be, these two could also both be NFC. It doesn't matter. It's the same idea. So if you're bringing out some kind of card when the guest asks for their check and it has a QR code or NFC, then you still have the same problem of needing one per table. So there's a lot of operational setup, especially for your IT and all your locations. And then you're going to have on top of this, you're going to have a training component. So you're going to have to teach all of your servers to do something differently than they're already doing. And we know how much servers don't like changing what they're doing. But in that case, you would bring out a card for the guest to scan or tap to pay their check. This one you don't see very often. And then what we do here at Up and Go, we can do all of these things, but what's most popular is to print the QR code right on the check. And another thing that's great about this happens to be a Simphony check, but this orientation is very similar with Aloha, our Aloha checks, where we print a unique QR code on the bottom of the check. The QR code is unique. It's just for that check. So you scan it, it goes straight there. And more importantly, when someone goes home and scans it, they're not going to see some other check. That's something that could happen with these kind of things. On Simphony, we also have the opportunity to print the QR code on the top if you want. So on Simphony, and actually 3700, we can print the QR codes on the top or bottom. And on Toast, we have the QR codes on the top. And what's nice about all of these solutions is that you have very little setup. You can basically turn these things on within a business day. You don't have all the overhead of creating these unique things for each table and bringing them to every table. You just turn it on and go. And you also have that control of the server's obviously not going to drop the check off before they have everything on the check. And even if the guest scans it after perhaps they've ordered something else, it's going to pull the most up-to-date version of the check. So these are definitely the most convenient and secure. And then we do have one fourth way, which is kind of exotic, which is if you're using our Android handheld devices, we have an option here where you can present the QR code. And so whether the server wants to hold this up or drop it down, and the guest can scan with their phone or just go ahead and tap their card right on the device, that's another way. So there you have it, 4 different ways that you can present a QR code at the table for your guests to pay their check.